Let's see if this thing can recover here. Does not look like it's doing very well. The game is running. Okay, there we go. I think it's recovering. I don't know. It says it's dropping frames. There we go. The red bar turned green. Sorry about that. I think that was like a Twitch issue, not my internet. Skyla says, I tried some purple ice cream, and for a country I swear cooks with sugar and everything, it wasn't sweet tasting. Oh, there was words there. Words of Collection Kaza. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys only drop level 44 spells. Why is there a raptor running around? Who's killing my raptors? I'm just gonna ask him if he can just leave that one. He kind of jammed up my system here. We'll see if he'll play nice. He'll follow the play nice policy. Looks like he's playing nice. He said he aggroed it by mistake. No problem, friend. I really can only do like 4 or 5. As long as he leaves the vicious. The vicious is the most important one. Well, shoot, my disconnect kind of jammed us up too. I don't know what the deal is. It's like Twitch just decides to stop working. Still, I would take this spot because you really don't run into that many people out here. So it's kind of nice. If I can log into a spot and I just jump in and start killing, I just love it. And we got 9% to go to hit level 56. It's going to be one of those like game time decisions on if I stay online until I hit 56 or not. I haven't decided yet. Mike me says, how bad are Ranger? I'm not sure if Ophion made it back after the disconnect. He could probably speak to that better than me. I don't have any experience playing Ranger past like level 9. So I don't want to speak to it. I know there's like a meme called the Ranger Gate where people talk about Rangers like dying all the time, but we definitely approach EverQuest a lot differently now than we used to. So it might be one of those things where it's not as bad as people joke. They seem like a pretty cool class. Mike Me says, do runes and words sell well to other players? Depends on the words. The higher level you go, yeah, the more they sell for. I will say, I forgot to mention this earlier, if you need spells researched, I don't have as many words as I used to. I've kind of worked through a lot of them, but I do have like an entire mule character full of words. So if you're looking for a specific set of words or you need somebody to research with words that you already have, you just let me know. Hungry Earth, though, I definitely don't have that one. That one's a tough one. Oh, you just need it made? Lucky you. If you can find your way out, I would say next time I'm in cab, if you're around. I can definitely research it. My research is maxed. Yeah, go ahead, for sure. Also, you have, it's possible that you could just trade the words to Ophion. I don't have the book on me to do the research. I should probably, but you could potentially trade them to Ophion and Ophion could run them out to me. What's up, casual meme fan? Yeah, we are cooking our way through some raptors. We have half of the level 49 pet spell. I have the words of acquisition. So now all I need is the words of grappling, I think. I need words of grappling and words of requisition. And that will get us 2 new spells that we very desperately need. And yeah, the experience bar is looking good. It's about 5% an hour here, maybe a little less. But it's pretty chill, like brain off gaming, and I'm really enjoying it. Like my return to P99 has been extremely enjoyable. We've experienced a lot of tribulations and a lot of trials, but I'm feeling the momentum build, and I'm definitely getting more and more motivated to just keep pushing through and finishing this out. And then we'll throw a big giant party for Mr. Best Friend. And then we'll have to figure out what the next challenge is. Well, there's always one more mountain to climb. There's my stream elements announcing that I'm streaming again because I got disconnected. 92%, let's go. %8 to go. Casual Meme Fan says, first place you go with the 49 pet? Probably Temple of Droga. We'll go down to Droga and we will just commit goblin genocide. We will slaughter them with impunity and then haul bags and bags of their skins to Chardok. Try to get that sweet, sweet Chardok ring. And with the 49 pet and Shadow Bond, which I got the other day, we should be in there. Should be no big deal to kill a ton of goblins. Yeah, we got the spawn cycle worked down to a science. Uh-oh. He didn't want to stay rooted. Mike Me says your next challenge should be a paladin solo, no help, self-found. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I have the cojones for that, brother. I thought about doing an Otis-only erudite paladin. That would be something. I feel like that would just be stepping the difficulty up to like 9,000. Cranking it up to 11. Now I have like a rule set that I came up with called progressive solo self-found, where you kind of get like I put a lot of thought to it. You get like different points for completing different achievements, and then that allows you to do different things. And I basically took all the lessons learned from Mr. Best Friend and incorporated them into like a whole new challenge. And I don't want to go like overly restrictive because I think it makes the stream content kind of boring, to be honest. Like the reality of Mr. Best Friend is I'm going to be grinding in the same 3 or 4 spots for the next probably 100 hours to get to level 60. So I don't know if I want to lock myself to a region again. Yeah, we did some math on stream, and it's like at the experience rates I'm getting right now, it is pretty daunting. Because right now I'm getting about 5% an hour, but these same spots at level 59 are going to be like 1%. Like, they're not going to be good experience. So it's entirely possible that I get like fed up with the really slow experience at level 58 or 59 and I try to like crank it out in Howling Stones. Which might be a really cool way to end the challenge anyway. I finally lifted my no rezzing restriction. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to take reses. Because otherwise what it drives me to do is be like really risk averse, because if you lose like 10 to 15 hours worth of experience per death, like you don't want to go somewhere that you're gonna die. So I made the decision. I was like, I'm gonna start taking reses. I made it to 55 without taking any reses. And I died a lot. Like, I died a lot down near. Died a lot down near. Died a lot here to Dingus. So yeah, we're probably gonna do the progressive solo self-found next. We'll do that on an enchanter. It's like every 5 levels you unlock a new zone. Every time you kill, I made like a list of named mobs, and every time you kill one of those, somebody can give me an item. It's all like community driven, so like we can do like votes and different things. Like, well, what item should be donated? It's like all kinds of stuff to kind of bring the viewers into it. So I'm pretty excited to do that. We just got to finish this first. What I should do is make my subscribers like the loot council. The subscribers get to vote on what loot gets given and all that. That might be kind of a fun idea. I just thought of that. Casual Meme Fan says, I have a friend doing SSF per account. Oh, I like that idea, yeah. I actually thought about doing that with Mr. Best Friend. Because all his loot is technically SSF. So I have thought about like, well, what if I just go hunt the loot for my next character on Mr. Best Friend? There's so many ways to do this. Because that would be kind of fun. You go solo something tough on your high level so you can get something good for your low level. I think what it really boils down to though is like time. I wish I had more time to do stuff like that. But I've only got time to really run like one character at a time. Ooh, I think we just hit 93. Yeah, it's what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. We're gonna hit 56 tonight. Barring something dumb happening, like a bard showing up, or I don't know, some crazy like death. We're gonna push 56. I hooked my girlfriend up with Disney Plus, so she should be good. She, she should be well entertained. So I can knock this out. So yeah, I'm feeling it. At the pace we're going, I'm feeling it. 7% more should be like an hour and a half. And hopefully we get a spell. Hopefully we get that 49 pet. Then we'll never have to come back. Actually, we need Bond of Death as well. Bond of Death will help with the goblin skin farming. Because I can just pull with Bond, send the pet in, have the pet tank, and then just heal the pet with Shadow Bond. It is kind of nice looking at that experience bar, I'm not gonna lie. But even though it looks nice, we still have such a long way to go. Considering that every level you go, like the experience rates get progressively lower, or it takes more experience to finish, culminating in level 59 being like a triple hell level. '59 is going to be the gut check. But by 59, we'll be suitably equipped. Like we'll have all the spells. I'm glad we made the plunge to finally go back to raptors. There was definitely a point where I was like, I'm not touching raptors, because these guys used to just wreck me. This place used to scare the shit out of me. We've come a long way. I think what really helped us turn a corner was Cankersore. One of my viewers explained all the things I was doing wrong with root rotting and how to do it much more efficiently. And that was like a great moment in mmocracy history. Mike Me says, how do you root rot? So first you cast root on them. Then the way it was explained to me is you cast your dots that are like the closest in length together. So like I do Ignite Blood and Splurt. You do like your longest dots first. And then I'm using like a downranked snare. So Dooming Darkness, it doesn't consume a whole lot of mana, but it keeps that snare on them. So if root does break, they're not like right in your face. And then you use like Vampiric Curse or any sort of life leech spell to keep your health up. And then the whole goal is like by the time you kill the enemy, your mana bar is like pretty much back to full. On that guy, I casted a little bit of a more dots than I needed. But you kind of got to math it out to like figure out what the most efficient set of dots is to put on him. And the idea is you're just like meting and killing at the same time. So you're like always keeping your mana really high. Mike Me says, so do you dot like 3 times and then just sit there with root? Pretty much. If you watch, I'll show you. The next one comes up in about 30 seconds. Yeah, you can see I'm back at full. I'm only able to hold down 5 spawns. If I was to add a 6th spawn in, I think I would be pushing it, because my mana pool is like shit. Because being solo self-found, most of my gear is from like low-level dungeons. I don't have any real good gear. Like if you get gear from people, you'll have more mana than me by like level 35. Also, I had POTG, although it's falling off. Ophion gave me POTG. So yeah, here I start with a root. Then I'm doing Ignite Blood because it's a long cast. One of the longest dots. Then I do Plague, which is another long dot. Then I'm doing Splurt. Like the best dot ever. And then I just snare him. And then I throw a Vampiric Curse on him to keep my health up. My snare and my Vampiric Curse don't do shit for damage. They're just literally there to keep him, like, from getting to me fast if my root wears off. And keep my health up. So my main dots are Ignite Blood, Plague, and Splurt. Those are the ones that are actually doing the work. And yeah, now you can see I'm just sitting here, making sure that root doesn't break, and keeping an eye on my mana bar and keeping an eye on the spawn timers. Because there's a program called PigParse, and PigParse will give you spawn timers for anything that you kill. So then I'm just watching to make sure like nothing's gonna respawn on top of me. Ophion says, just curious, what is your total mana? I'm at 1758. So yeah, my full suite of dots takes like 50% of my mana bar. Yeah, let me link it. Where is it? This guy needs another splurt to kill him. He's got a lot of health. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Ophion says, just to compare, my Necro at 59 has almost twice as much mana as I do. Yeah, my gear is like not good. Yeah, there should be instructions on there on how to install it. And it runs as like a separate program, so you open up EQ and then you open up that program. It also has a map. Some people are against the map. I'm not against the map. I've played that way. I'm good. I don't need to play that way again. I'll take the map. You guys can boo me. I'm a scrub. Yep. Scrub mmorpg. Yeah, I think so. I don't even think you have to put it in your game file. I can't remember. Yeah, there's nparse. Nparse works really well too. You'll have to read the instructions. I haven't set it up in a long time. But there should be like a readme.txt in there that'll tell you how to set it up. It's definitely not difficult. And the spawn timer alone is like such a huge advantage. Because you know exactly where you need to be then at the exact time, and it helps you make decisions because you're like, okay, I'm at 50% mana. I have a spawn coming up in 2 minutes. I need to rebuff this buff, but I don't have the mana to do two buffs, so I'm going to do this buff first, then I'll kill this spawn, then I'll hopefully get enough mana to buff the second one. I was actually thinking about this, so what I just described there, that type of kind of think ahead, plan ahead gameplay, you don't really get that in newer MMOs. Like, I feel like EverQuest nailed some things that newer MMOs, even as like far back as vanilla World of Warcraft, just never really replicated. Like the spawn timer, like centric gameplay, the preparation, the planning, the decision making process that you go through as you're playing the game. Like World of Warcraft, even 2004 released, almost 20 years ago. The time was so compressed, like how fast you heal, how you start every encounter with virtually full mana, full health. Like they didn't really, no other MMO really replicated this style of gameplay. It's kind of interesting to me. I'm curious if Monsters and Memories is gonna do that, or if they're gonna kind of go more for like the full mana, full health. Because last time I played Monsters and Memories, which was like a year ago almost, it seemed like you were killing a lot faster than you do on EQ. Yeah, so like right here. Oh, what's up, casual meme fan? I'm actually not gonna engage this raptor because I only have a minute and a half. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I have a minute and a half to go take a piss. Sorry, I don't mean to run away from you while you're buffing, but I'm gonna pop out here and I'm gonna go take a piss real quick because I have a minute to do that. So I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you for the buffs, casual. That he said that annoying Druid is back. I'm sorry about that. Casual showed up to the giant fort to buff me like out of the goodness of his heart, and he pulled a giant from the bottom up to the top. And I didn't react very well at first. I was like, who the hell is this? Why is he bringing shit up here? And then he was like, dude, that's me. And I was like, I feel like a giant jerk right now. But at least now we have a funny story to tell on stream. It's just one of those things where when you play solo self-found, most of the time other players are like a huge inconvenience to you. And so I've just like gotten really salty towards anybody showing up anywhere where I'm at. Because like 99.9% of the time they're gonna like do something that causes me some sort of issue. Unless they're Belgaven, the only bard that I respect and love. Belgaven saved me from near certain doom. Yeah, just like really salty. I've had some like really salty streams. Mike Me says, dude, dying must be insane. Before I was willing to take reses, yeah, it was like super demoralizing to die. But I finally just threw in the towel and I said, look, I don't want to be doing this until I'm like in a retirement home. So if I die, I'm gonna take a res. Something had to give. Yeah, my last death was the very beginning of 55. I actually got disconnected. This is what kind of like broke me out of it. I was in Howling Stone's basement and I got DC'd totally out of my control. And I died, and I had just dinged 55. So like I dinged 55, we were all celebrating on stream, everybody was like, yeah, go Mr. Best Friend. And then I freaking disconnected and died, and I was like, one of my stream viewers was like, dude, I can res you, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Otherwise, yeah, it would be like, shoot, by like level 59, it'd be like 12 to 15 hours worth of experience. I'm wondering if Splurt's gonna kill him. I don't know if Splurt is gonna finish it. Oh, it did. Yes, good job, Splurt. Ah, we got words, but it was enchanter words. I got super excited to see the words pop up there. We may switch over to the other island. Oh no, I did it again. I freaking dotted myself. That's okay, we'll be fine. At least it was Ignite Blood and not Splurt. When I splurted myself, that was like 50% of my health. After I had life tapped several times. Casual says, other island can be insane though, right? So many wanderers. It is, it's harder. But with the way that this has been going, uh, we're not getting route breaks like all the time like we used to. So I feel okay trying it. Because I feel like we can work out a system and kind of like we'll figure it out, kind of like how we figured this one out. This is like easy mode, and then that one over there is like hard mode. Because this one only has the one roamer. We'll have to figure out the path for the other roamers over there. Ophion says, I've snared myself while quadding here before, and I gated immediately. Yeah, I don't blame you. Our health is staying up pretty decent with Vampiric Curse. So we'll be alright. Just cost us a little bit of extra mana. Splurt though, oh my gosh, Splurt was just like chewing through my health bar. I think I life tapped 3 or 4 times and still finished the fight at like 50% health. We're probably gonna, yeah, we're gonna have to put like some sort of extra dot on him though. Throw a splurt on him. That's like my most mana efficient dot. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get the roamer. I gotta get out of here actually. Because it could be the roamer or it could be the one right there. It was the roamer. And then one thing you can do too, Mike Me, is if you are low on mana, you can just remove like one of your dots from your rotation and you're still killing and you're still getting your mana back. It's just a little bit slower. Mike Me says, do you use an in-game map? I do. I'm one of those people. It's not in-game, it's run through the parsing program. It's totally legal. It's not like a bannable thing. Yeah, it's allowed. Let's do this. I've dotted myself 2 times tonight. We'll throw that up in the corner. We'll start keeping track of that. Mike Me says, I've been out here without a freaking map for 20 levels. Welcome to modern classic EverQuest. I mean, look at the UI I'm using. The UI is like super sweet. Oh, we had regrowth. That's why I was wondering why we were able to out regen that dot. Because we still have a chloroplast from Casual Meme Fan. Thank you for that. You saved me. Yeah, it's I'll spell it out in the chat. Duxa. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I play another game, Phantasy Star Online, and there's like a classic server for that, like an emulated server. And the add-ons that they've developed for that are so awesome. It like makes the gameplay so much better. Just because in that game it's kind of like Diablo, where you have to pick everything up off the ground and look at it in order to tell if it's good. But somebody developed an add-on that tells you like what's on the ground, so you don't have to run around and check every single thing. It's so nice. All right, 5% to go. Let's go. We're doing it. What's up, Kevin? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing good. We're 95% to level 56, so we're going to go for it. We're pushing it. I'm staying on until we're getting it. It's 9:30. I got getting about 5% an hour here. So you guys got me till we hit 56. One nice thing about this spot is I don't get, I guess it's good and bad, I don't get a lot of loot, so I don't have to go like gate back to Cabalus to sell. I'm not getting all over encumbered like I do with the giants. Kevin, you showed up just in time because I was about to switch up the music from like techno to divorced dad rock. Actually, I'm gonna go like 90s grunge. Unless anybody has an objection to 90s grunge, that's where we're headed next. And we'll rock out till we hit 56. Kevin says I'm good with whatever. Well, in that case, we're gonna rock some Hall & Oates. We're gonna rock as much synth music as we can find. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. John Denver greatest hits. Okay, I don't really have time to wait for this guy to die because we need to go kill this guy over here. Let's try not to dot ourselves this time. We got 2 minutes till the vicious raptor spawns. And yeah, if we hit 56 without finding the spells we need, the next time I'm streaming, which will be tomorrow or Thursday, we're gonna do the other raptor island that has more vicious raptors. Because the vicious raptors drop the words. And then we're going to stay out here until we get Shadow Bond, or not Shadow Bond, Bond of Death and Invoke Death. Kevin says, why do raptors on an island even have pages? Well, you see, a long, long time ago, before Gorgle Packlock, before Dingus, there was a Raptor King. And the Raptor King loved to read. But he was like a dictator. He was a dictator Raptor King. And he didn't let anybody else have any of the books that he had. And all the raptors of the island, especially the vicious raptors, that's going to be important later, had a huge problem with that because the literacy in the raptor kingdom was like 99%. In fact, there were 100 raptors and the only one that knew how to read was the king. So that's where the 99% came from. And so they staged a coup. They planned it right there in this building. That's why it's called Coup, the Coup Ruins. That's in the lore. Double check it, but it's in the lore. And they met under the cover of darkness, the vicious raptors, and they formed a dark brotherhood. And together they hatched their evil plan to free the raptor kingdom from the vicious, from the grasp of illiteracy. And they hatched their plan on Halloween. And they attacked the Raptor King with such ferocity that the pages in his library just scattered across the whole island. And then the raptors, the vicious raptors especially, then took it upon themselves. They formed a special sect called the Page Masters to go and collect all of the pages of the books of the Raptor King and share them with the little baby raptors and have story time with hot chocolate, and around Halloween for the anniversary, pumpkin spice. And so anytime you kill a raptor and you get a page, you know that you killed one of the Page Masters. And that's why we're out here hunting the vicious raptors. The end. So hopefully this guy is a page master, because I really want to get these words. Kevin says, "Wow, that is incredible. I was going to say that maybe they received Sting's SOS." That is also one theory. But scholars have rejected that. Kevin says, "Well, I guess it's still a mystery where the message in a bottle ended up." Well, a lot of people don't know this, but every time that Sting says sending out an SOS in that song, he actually sent out an individual SOS. So somewhere out there is a shit ton of bottles. He says it like 70 times in that song. Oh, Casual Meme Fan says, if you find a message in a bottle and it's from the police, just throw it back. Well, it's okay if it's from the police, but not from Sting, because he was kind of the weird one. If you remember right, it was Sting and the police. So the police, they were pretty normal. It was the other two guys. Kevin says, "Hey, come down to the station." Yeah. If you find that message in the bottle, make sure you have legal representation before you answer any questions. Do not take a polygraph. Polygraphs are not admissible in court. Remember that. They're an interrogation tool and an interrogation tool only. The guy who invented the polygraph was so disgusted about the polygraph that he actually campaigned against his own invention until he died. That's a true story. That's not the mmorpg making shit up. Casual Meme Fan says, free drugs at the station. True story, too. One time I was driving to work. It was like real early in the morning. And they had a big, like one of those big highway signs that tell you about the road construction and shit. And it literally said on the flashing highway sign, last stop before drug checkpoint. And then the cops were just posted up at the next exit and just pulling people over that went on that exit. I was like, that's dirty. But kind of funny at the same time. Yeah, they thought they were getting away from the drug checkpoint, but they drove right into the drug checkpoint. Those silly druggies. They're not known for their for their sharp wit. That area was like a huge, major drug thoroughfare, though. Like the town itself was kind of known as like the drug stop. Like people would kind of stop midway and peddle their drugs there between two other major cities. Let's see, we got a raptor spawning here soon. Hopefully it's not the roamer. Because this raptor is not dying very fast. Kevin says, lol, very familiar with those places. We have lots. Yeah, I've been in the northeast where all those people, there's so many people in the northeast. If you ever look at like a map of the US that's like color coded by population density, it's insane the difference between like east of the Mississippi and west. We are now officially fighting two raptors at once. And not even like that one's close to dead. It's getting out of control down here on Raptor Island. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a splurt on him because I'm pretty sure his splurt wore off. This is gonna eat my mana, but we're gonna survive. We'll be fine. Kevin says it's gotten out of control around here. Too many people for long-term sustainability. Yeah. Casual Meme Fan says it's the old dope peddlers doing well by doing good. Around here where I'm at, it's all fentanyl. There's like a spot where the homeless people like camp out in these gulches. These like they call them the wash. And occasionally when I drive by the wash, I'll see like a blacked out SUV just parked over by the wash, and I'm like, yeah, I know what's going on there. I bet that's the cartel selling drugs to the homeless people who then distribute the drugs. Yeah, it's kind of sad. There's like a lot of people that they look like the Walking Dead. I bet house prices are insane where you're at too, Kevin. Kevin says Philly is terrifying right now. I definitely get the feeling, just as an observer of life, as a student of life, I definitely get the feeling like we're a society that is definitely in decay. Look up Kensington, Pennsylvania. Let me see if I can do that without Oh no. Of course root breaks when I'm looking away. Yeah, he's not wrong. Some people are like cool with it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what I see them around here, but definitely not nearly as many. They're all like, yeah, they're like bent over, and I'm like, dude, how would, like, why is that fun? Kevin says this is tame. It's way worse now. When was this? This was made a year ago, so it's even gotten worse. Wow. Yeah, Mike, me, thanks for stopping by. Oh my gosh, I got a raptor like chasing my ass down. I think I got Spirit of Wolf. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. Looks pretty nasty. Imagine being somebody that like lives there and has to like raise their kids there amongst that because you can't afford to leave. Kevin says they installed slot machines in all the quickie marts. So not only are they like blowing their money on drugs, but also on gambling. Yeah, it's not good. All right, let's grind out this next 4%. We brought the mood down a little bit there with that, but that's okay. That's life. It's dirty. It's gritty. You gotta be reminded of that stuff once in a while. But now we're gonna get focused, and we're gonna rock these next 4%. Hopefully, we get a word off the vicious raptors, the page masters. We can go back to cab like. Well, actually, I probably wouldn't go back to cab till I got both spells because I don't really need the pet. So even if I got the pet spell now, I wouldn't necessarily go back. But yeah, the raptors must pay for their insolence. They must pay with their blood for the plan that they hatched centuries ago. We will avenge the Raptor King. Actually, we're not going to avenge that guy. He was a jerk. He didn't let any of the little raptor children read their books. Some of those books were pretty good. Some of them were Sesame Street, Dora the Explorer books. Those little children did not get to read the Dora the Explorer book. Jurassic Park. Yeah, that's like their lore. That's that's like a history book for them. That's a pretty good one. All right, we're gonna go park out here in the water because there's gonna be a vicious raptor here soon. We're gonna go out here. We gotta get some mana back before we can kill him. I thought I wasn't able to see that raptor now, but I was able to target him through this little tiny sliver in the Coog ruins. What time is it? 9:50? Yeah, we should be good. I shouldn't be getting to bed too late. Casual Meme Fan says, have you seen the statue at the top? No, I haven't. Is it safe up there? Is it safe to go up? I can't really angle my way up there because of the water. You gotta like, let's see. Oh, he should die. He should die from the 2 dots that are left on him. You can see it from first person. Oh yeah, okay. Who built that statue up there? That tells me that the raptors, like, at one point did not own this island. He needs to die on this tick. I'm gonna be so mad if he doesn't die on this tick. Oh my gosh, he has 1% left. Oh shoot. Literally 1%. Or 0%. Should be able to just like dot him. We got 70%. We should be good for the vicious. Casual Meme Fan says it took me years to figure out why they call it Statue Island. Yeah, I can see why. I didn't even know it was called Statue Island. I really like this island though. Exceptionally chill spot now that I've figured it out. And it's funny the difference in just a few levels and like kind of a change in technique, because this place used to scare the shit out of me. I hated it. Granted, I also didn't have I didn't have Lich. So doing this without Lich was like really rough. Lich was a total game changer. Now it's Wrath of the Lich King. Oh, come on, root. 2 roots break? That's the first time that's happened tonight. This song was like, man, when this shit came out, it was like summer. It was like a summertime song. And it was such a simple time in my life. Like, all I had to do was just play video games and just nothing. It was so awesome. This song and Sum 41, Fat Lip. It was like 1999, I think. In 1999, the summer of 99, I didn't play EverQuest because I didn't know about it. I didn't have it yet. I played this game called Tibia. Tibia was an Ultima Online clone that was like super janky. and not nearly as cool or detailed. Kevin, of course, knows all about Tibia. Yeah. Tibia was actually like super fun until you left the newbie island. So when I first started playing Tibia, there was no newbie island. This was back whenever MMOs were called graphical muds because they hadn't quite turned the corner from like mud to MMO. So they even called EverQuest a graphical mud at one point. And yeah, you didn't even have a newbie island, and Tibia was a full loot open PvP game. Anybody could kill anybody and take their stuff. So imagine being a brand new player and like you walk out of the very first like safety temple. You know, the temple is like a safe zone, and like the first thing that happens is a dude with a spear just throws a spear at you and kills you in one hit. That was Tibia. And then they loot like the 5 gold coins you managed to scrape together in the 3 minutes that you were alive. That like little stack of gold was so addictive though, to like make that little stack get big. Like killing rats in Tibia just to get like make your gold stack bigger was so much fun. I played RuneScape back then whenever it was still RuneScape 1.0. It was on your web browser. There wasn't even a standalone client yet. Kevin says there's one recent MMO that is heavily inspired by Tibia. The camera is so bad. What is that MMO? I would like to know that. I love Tibia. All right, Raptor, I need you to die. There we go. The roamer is spawning in. Casual Meme Fan said I was playing Jedi Knight in '99. I don't know if I ever played that. Okay, we're gonna go for the roamer. Because he's gonna spawn next. Ophion says I played Ultima Online. That was PK Madness. Yeah, I actually never. Ultima Online was one of those I never got to play. My dad at the time, my dad at the time, and my dad now, same person, um, was like convinced that Ultima was like a satanic game, which is really strange. Whenever you read the actual like how Richard Garriott, like some concerned father wrote Richard Garriott a letter, the creator of Ultima, and was like, "Hey, my daughter plays your games and all she does is kill people. Can you like make your games less about like just doing shitty things to people?" And then that's why Richard Garriott put the virtues in like Ultima 3 or Ultima 4 or whatever, whichever one. But yeah, for some reason my dad thought Ultima was like a satanic dog whistle game. Oh no, I rooted myself. This is bad. We don't want to root him. We're just gonna feign. Oof. 2.5. We'll say we dotted myself, sort of. Wow. Let's kill Lich off. Yeah, so I never played Ultima Online because I wasn't allowed to. Why is he not going back? Casual Meme Fan says my parents were very concerned about there being necromancers in EverQuest. Yeah. I know the feeling, man. Is this guy gonna go away? Shit. Fane freaking fizzled. We got a situation here, folks. I think this one here is going to respawn very soon as well. Ophion says, I'm glad to see other people besides me do this kind of stuff at EQ. It's easy to do when you've been doing the same thing for like 3 hours. You get kind of complacent. I think that raptor forgot about me. But that is the roamer, so we gotta like regroup and take him out. Oh shit. He's too close. Okay, we're gonna have to catch him on the backside. Ophion says, I died twice at the giant fort last week doing dumb stuff. We were on such a roll too, we were getting such fast experience. Let's do a little regen. Let's regroup. At 59, ouch. Actually, we don't need deflux, we need lich. Yeah, I had the parents that didn't let me play Diablo Ultima, but like Wolfenstein was okay. I don't know. I love my dad, but some of those were like, it was kind of questionable. Ophion said I gave myself the old necro res, so it didn't hurt too bad. Yeah, just hurt the pride. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll regroup. It did slow us down a little bit, but that's okay. It's not extremely late, so we're definitely going to stick around and get level 56 tonight. Kevin said my dad let me watch and play virtually everything. Dad, can I have your credit card? I want to rent this pay-per-view porn. Kevin says my mom banned South Park and he said go watch it. Damn. South Park is like, oh, I hope my kids aren't watching South Park. They watch Skibbity Toilet. They're all about that Skibbity Toilet. He was realistic, yeah. I feel like by the time I was like 14 or 15, my dad, he kind of stopped. He didn't really care. But when I was like 12 or 13 and I like really wanted to play Diablo 2 because it had just come out, he was like, nope. I still figured out a way to play Diablo 2, I just had to like hide it. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm not targeting the wrong raptor here. It's my GCD cooldown that's getting me. That's why I'm like rooting myself. We're gonna keep some mana in reserve because we're gonna get the roamer. Like he's gonna come back. We just gotta angle our camera so we can see him coming. Casual Meme Fan says, I went to a museum last month. They had a Xennial display with Skibbity Riz on the wall and all the 8-year-olds were losing their minds. Yeah, I don't really understand it. Kevin says, I watched my 8-year-old nephew last week and the amount of times I heard Skibbity Ohio Toilet Rizzler was it like, yeah, they're like developing their own language. They've become like the children from that Arthur C. Clarke short story where like the kids become like super smart and all the adults die off or whatever. That's like what's happening right now. Only in like the opposite direction. Like the brain rot is so real. He would gritty into the room saying that. What is gritty? Is that another one of those like Xennial words? Let me just gritty on in here. I need that roamer to gritty on back here. That silly dance they do? I don't even know these things. That's not good. I should probably know these things. Yeah, we're just gonna chill and we're gonna regen. We're just gonna eat this guy's health slowly. Casual Meme Fan says, I have no context for any of these words. Okay, the roamer is coming, so we're gonna splurt him. Splurt this one, so he definitely dies. Paralyzing Earth wore off, but he's rooted in place because of the dooming darkness. And we gotta get ready. Here comes the roamer. Oh, he's like racing towards us. I'm not even gonna GCD cancel right now because I don't want to screw it up. Kevin says it started with the football player Justin Jefferson. Alright, good recovery. We got the roamer, we're killing him. By the time this guy dies, we'll have the vicious back up and we'll go back to see if we get any pages off him. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like it's weird. The media that they have access to is just so much more expansive than obviously we did. Like there was no video sites or anything like that. I feel like the closest thing that we had, and it was like on a totally like much smaller level, was like that Homestar Runner site with a Strong Bad or whatever. And then a little bit later, it was like Newgrounds, which I never really got into. Yeah, I know Kevin remembers Homestar Runner. We kind of grew up in the same internet era. I don't know, like I'm really grateful for the time that I did grow up because we had technology, but it wasn't like everything was technology. I didn't have a cell phone, a smell phone. I didn't have a smartphone. You know, we didn't have YouTube until I was like 20 years old, 21 years old. That was the first time I remember seeing YouTube. I got to like play EQ during the summer, like pretty much all day. But my parents also took us out in the woods and like we would go camping, fishing, ride motorcycles, ride dirt bikes, you know, ATVs. So like I got kind of like just enough technology for it to be like I'd be out riding my dirt bike and like at the end of the day I'd be like, man, I can't wait to get home and play EQ. But I wasn't so absorbed in it that I wasn't doing any other things. Kevin says I wasn't allowed to play all day unless it was like a snow day. Damn. I got so lucky, man. I would wake up in the morning, put on my Winamp playlist, freaking make the biggest bowl of honeycomb cereal I could with like the giant, you know, the mixing bowls you cook with when you're like baking a cake? Like I would take a mixing bowl and pour like half a box of family-sized honeycomb cereal into the bowl and like eat this massive bowl of cereal while I was watching the EverQuest loading bar like inch its way up and listening to that music, like the loading screen music. And up until I was about 14 though, I did still like mix my time up between riding my bike. We had a lot of trails around where I grew up. I grew up in like a mountain town. So yeah, I was out like riding the bikes and going to the city park and all that. Casual Meme Fan says you could Winamp play Winamp plus EQ. You had to start Winamp before you started EQ because if you alt tabbed out of EQ, it would crash. And back then, when EQ crashed, that was like an instant like 20 minutes before you were getting back in because it took that long to load on my computer. So whatever song, like, I had a whole playlist and I would just start. Actually, that Temple of the Dog song was my very first song on the playlist. That's why I always play it on stream, because it's like nostalgia. And then it would just run through like the, I don't know, 200 songs I had downloaded. But yeah, by the time I was in high school, my parents didn't really care if I played video games like all day. Kevin says it was chill though. I had like 17 kids in my neighborhood, and we would run football and wiffle ball games all day. Yeah. Yeah, I had like a group of friends where I had like one friend that lived at the top of the hill and one friend that lived at the bottom of the hill, actually the one that just passed away. And we would like jump on our bikes to the top of the hill and like cruise all the way down to the bottom of the hill, catch up with him. The city park was like at the very bottom of the hill. Uh, and when I say bottom of the hill, just like halfway down the actual freaking mountain I lived on, but it was like the bottom of the town. And yeah, we go to like the park and like do a bunch of dumb shit at the park, just hang out, be general, stooges. Kevin says I never really wanted to play video games all day. I think yeah, up until I was about 14, I would kind of mix my time up. Uh, but once I got EQ, it was like it was over, dude. I was like, I'm not even leaving my room. I was like one of those. I was terminally online before it was even a thing. But I was only playing EQ. It wasn't like I was on those weird ass forums and shit or whatever people do now, Reddit. Halo 2, my freshman year. I think I was a junior. Because I remember we went to the midnight release. Yeah, I've told this story before for Halo 2. And because of where I lived, it was such a small town. We had to drive like an hour or over an hour to get to the midnight release. And all these people were lined up outside the mall waiting to get in. And when they came and they unlocked the doors, everybody started pushing and shoving. And I was like small back then. And I got like shoved behind the door. And as everybody was like going in the door, somebody, like, the door was like swinging towards me. And I was about to just get smashed by this door and all these people. And my friend, who was like the freaking he was like a cornerback or something, he was a huge dude, played on the football team. He like literally grabbed me and like yanked me out of the way right as that door was like bam and like hit the wall. Otherwise I wouldn't have been playing Halo 2 that night. I'd have been in the hospital. But the funny thing was, I only played Halo 2 for like 3 days. I skipped school the next day. I was so bad. I skipped the day, stayed home, played Halo 2 for like, a day, went back to school, played it for like another 2 days. I only made it to like the third or fourth mission. I really need to go back and like finish Halo 2. It was just a little too different from Halo 1 for me, and I'm like kind of weird in that I don't like change very much. So I didn't really like the dual wielding. So it was kind of like hard for me to get invested in it. 98%, we got this. What we really need is a spell drop. We got lucky last night. We've been going for like 3 hours tonight. I did play a lot of Mech Assault on the Xbox. That one really got me hooked. I played Phantasy Star Online and Mech Assault and Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like kind of the revamped Xbox version. Kevin says Mech Assault blew my mind. Me too, dude. That shit was so much fun. It was like just enough Mech Warrior to like scratch the itch because I'm an old school Mech Warrior. Like Mech Warrior 2 was one of the first video games I ever played. My dad got it for the 486. Casual Meme Fan says, gotta take off. Have a good night. Pregrats. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the buffs. Thanks for being here on the stream. Have a great one. So yeah, I was like an old school Mech Warrior 2, like big into Mech Warrior. I actually took the manual for Mech Warrior and reverse engineered it into a tabletop game because it had all the stats for all the mechs. Not realizing that Mech Warrior was like an adaptation of a tabletop game, so I like took a tabletop game that had become a video game, turned it back into a tabletop game, and would play it with my friends. It's kind of cool. Kevin says it was the first console game I played with VC and matchmaking. Yeah. Wait, what's VC? Oh, voice chat. Okay. Yeah, with like the cartridge that plugged into the giant ass Xbox controller with like the little headset, little tiny headset that would plug into it. My mom tried to give me our old school Xbox when I was back home last month or this earlier this month. But I told her to hang on to it for a little bit longer. I'll pick it up from her when I can. She was like, "Take it with you." I'm like, "I don't have room in my suitcase for an Xbox, and I don't want it to get like busted." Kevin says it came with my Xbox for free in a little cardboard sleeve. It was one of the only games I had for a little while, so I played the hell out of it. Remember stomping on like the remember how this like the little soldiers would run after your mech and you could just like stomp on them? That was a good game. It was like an arcade mech warrior. I've wanted to go back and get into MechWarrior Online, but I don't know, something about it just like it doesn't really capture me. Also, the funny story I have about Mech Assault, and I know you know this, Kevin, is my mom was like ranked #1 on the King of the Hill leaderboards for like the duration of Mech Assault's life on Xbox Live. She was like the top player because she played that game mode more than any other game mode. I think that Xbox like single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, I think there was some other stuff going on, but it was definitely a contributing factor to my parents getting divorced. And it was like kind of my fault because I borrowed Tony Hawk Pro Skater from my buddy and I was like, "Mom, play this game with me." And she'd never played video games. And she tried it and she hated it. And then I came home from school the next day and she was like doing kick flips and freaking 720s and shit. And I was like, "Oh boy, I've created a monster." And then she's been like a video game player ever since. Kevin says the online, or that was always my least favorite game mode, even in Halo. King of the Hill, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why she liked it so much. It was definitely her thing though. She had like two or three people that she would play with pretty much all the time. Kevin says she's ripping Christ airs through cargo crate collecting the videotape. Pretty much. There was a point where I could speedrun that game. I mean, I'm sure I wasn't like a world class speedrunner, but I would legit like speedrun that game. Like I would start a new character and make it through the whole game in like an hour. because I knew where everything was. I knew how to collect all the tapes, all the, what was it, skate? You had to like collect skate, kick flip over this thing, do a varial over this thing or whatever. I don't even know if I said that right. Yeah, I would do like start a new character, just run through the game as fast as I could. Kevin says I missed that blue cartridge. Oh, that's right. I forgot it was on N64 as well. I bet the music sounded like shit on the N64. Like highly compressed, already highly compressed songs because they were all punk rock songs. Kevin says at the time it was awesome. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not ripping on the game. I know like there's certain video games that I like the soundtrack for, but they were on the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance really compressed their music to try to save on cartridge space. So like when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, oh, this sounds terrible. Oh wow. Oh, I just rooted myself again. Damn it. All right, that's number 3. I'm an idiot. Ah. It's like you click. Yeah, look. I'm clicking the raptor here. I move my cursor like 15 pixels down. I click literally right here. It targets myself. Is there a way? Is there a way to like disable self-targeting? I doubt there is because this game is old and it doesn't have shit for options. That's like a crazy huge hitbox on your own character. And I already have target myself as like a hotkey. Yeah, those songs are definitely burning my head too. There's some like really good bangers on that soundtrack. Freaking Millencolin. I have a guitar like 15 feet behind me signed by one of the bands on that soundtrack. It's all faded now, you can barely see it, but it's kind of cool. Millencolin, Lagwagon, I'm trying to remember who else was on that soundtrack, but the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was like excellent soundtrack. Oh, Del the Funky Homo Sapien was on there. What else? Oh, I'm gonna look it up now. I don't want to know. Bad Religion, Public Enemy. Yeah, it's kind of a cool like mix between. Oh yeah, Goldfinger was on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. Yeah, they definitely picked some good ones. It was a good mix of like kind of undergroundish hip hop and punk rock, but it was like mostly like it was kind of pop punk, but not so pop punk that it was like annoying. If that makes sense, they like did a really good job. Like it wasn't like Green Day. It was like Lagwagon. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was yellow on the N64. I just remember Ocarina of Time. The cartridge was like so classy. I think it was like gold. It was like that kind of burnished, like almost like a oxidized gold color. Speaking of oxidation, dude, the Super Nintendo, I learned that the reason why the Super Nintendo changes colors is because the plastic oxidizes. I definitely had one of those like brownish yellow Super Nintendos. Yep, with a gold sticker. The Nintendo seal. Okay, we got a Vicious coming up, but I don't want to go after the Vicious until the Roamer is dealt with. Kind of sucks I missed the Roamer. Kevin says, I mean, the Zelda Ocarina of Time sticker was gold too, so it blended in. Huh. Yeah, I don't remember what it looks like now. I don't know. That was one of those games. I thought it was... Oh no, the whole cartridge wasn't gold. The sticker was just gold. For some reason, I was thinking it was the whole cartridge was gold. But yeah, I've tried so many times to get into Zelda 64 and like actually finish it, and I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. Okay, Kevin says there was a gold cartridge. They were super rare. I think my cousin had the actual like gold one. That's probably where that memory came from. But yeah, for some reason when I play ooh, we're at 99%, boys. When I play Zelda 64 cuz I have it on my Nintendo 3DS. I don't know. I'm a Link to the Past guy. I can play through Link to the Past like it's super enjoyable for me, but 64 it just doesn't hit me right. But I'll be honest, that like era of video games is kind of it didn't age very well. Compared, I feel like the 16-bit era aged really well, but like the immediately following era with like the Final Fantasy 7 is a good example, and I love that game and I'll still play through it. But like the graphics, dude, like their arms are like freaking how their arms like come into points, they look like pencils. Like it's so bizarre to look back at. Kevin says, I'm pretty sure Majora's Mask had gold card. I thought it was purple. Nope, it's gold. You're right. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin knows his stuff. I really wish you could like stop that sound. It's like a freaking minute long applause sound. Kevin says, I'm pretty sure Majora's Mask had gold card versions. Oh, sorry, I read that already. Fatigue is setting in. But we're at 99% and we did not die. We have not died yet. I'll just keep it going till 24 hours. How about that? Impromptu 24-hour stream. Let's go. The sad thing is, if I was to do 24 hours of this, I still wouldn't hit level 57. I would be like 40% into 56. It's that slow. I wonder if we should not... I'm like debating on going back to get cessation of core, because it might help with doing this. I don't know, I haven't like decided. I would rather just stay out here until I get the spells, though. Just because I don't want to have to do the boat ride again. Yeah, the boat ride is just miserable. Kevin says I'd probably just stay. Yeah, I think so. That's like a full hour, pretty much, of experience that I would be missing out on. And if I can log in here tomorrow and like immediately start experiencing, which is what I did tonight, that is so nice. It's like amazing when you can just pop in and immediately start pulling versus like running around Kunark looking for somewhere to kill. I feel like we made pretty good time though. I mean, shit, I was like 82% into 56. So I mean, that's 17% in one night. That's more I've gotten than I've gotten at Giant Fort. So this may actually be faster. Kevin says I delete so much stuff when experiencing. Yeah. Especially if you're uber rich like you. You're like, ah, it's just another fungi. Just drop it. Don't even drop it. Kevin like literally clicks the destroy button on a fungi. If it's not a mana stone, he's not keeping it. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. Probably gonna slam a protein bar before I go to bed. Kevin says, well, sometimes I just don't pick up items instead. Kevin destroys platinum. When he starts getting too weighed down, he destroys his platinum. No freaking spells, man. We're getting hosed on these spells. Hopefully we have better luck tomorrow. We just need 2 more words, but they have to be the right words. Kevin says this raptor looks well read. I don't think these raptors drop the level 49 words. I think it's only the vicious. These are the ones that are responsible for me getting the level 44 pet words and going like throwing a little party and then like being completely deflated when I realized that it wasn't even the right words. That's these raptors. That's why I think what I might do is get some buffer experience tomorrow. And then once I got a little buffer, I can go over to the other island that has like multiple vicious raptors. And see if we can't farm our spells over there, because we'll have, like right now, I'm only getting 1 shot at a spell word every 12 minutes. But if we farm the vicious over on the other island, we can get like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 shots every 12 minutes. Hey, hey, we like that sound. We haven't done this in a while. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the grats. We haven't leveled up on Mr. Best Friend in like 4 or 5 months. I think I think I hit 55 in Howling Stones. And that was probably back in April or May. So we're doing it. Finally got another level. We will go ahead and rebuff 60 soon. Soon TM. I'll be honest, I'm like freaking just want to keep going, but I'll pay for it tomorrow if I don't get some rest. This is so chill and like just generally all around good experience and not hard to do. So I'm actually looking forward to grinding the next level here while we work on those spells. And at 57, we get Vexing Mordinia, which is like, that's going to be crazy good. Let's take a look before I get off. Let's take a look at the wiki. And see what we have to look forward to. So 56, Cessation of Core, that's going to be a good one. Oh shit, I gotta get that from the over there? Oh no, I can get it in West Cap. Thank God. Yeah, the one merchant in the over there is in that building right as you come in the eastern gate. There's like a guard, I think, or maybe number 4, I think, has the guard in it. I don't know if I've ever been in that building. That'd probably be pretty rough to get in and out of. 57. We get an undead nuke that we can buy from the vendor. That's important. Vexing Mordinia we buy from the vendor. And then 58. Immobilize. Root. Last 10 ticks. What does Paralyzing Earth last 30 ticks? Is Immobilize like... What makes it better? Oh, it only costs 80 mana. Paralyzing Earth costs... Well, it only costs 100 mana. Why would you ever use Immobilize? What is the... What's the draw here? 1.75 casting. Paralyzing Earth is 2.5, so it's like just a little bit faster. I don't know if it's really that much better. We get Pyro Crewer. That's big damage for the mana. 5.273 damage per mana. We're going to shred some raptors with that. Quivering Veil of Zarn. Heals the caster for 150. Grants the caster immunity to damage. So it's like another harm shield. Okay. Not really thinking that's not a huge upgrade there. 59, we get the Final Snare. Devouring Darkness. Which is pretty expensive on the mana. Touch of Night, Life Tap. Can you buy that in... You can buy that in Cab. And then obviously EOT, which we will definitely not have. We're going to have to drop the 20,000 plat to get EOT. And then 60, once we hit 60, game's over. We'll go buy spells. I probably won't have the money, but we'll try to buy spells. Kevin says roots are weird. Isn't there one that doesn't break early or something? That might be. I don't know the instill or immobilize or whatever it said that it still breaks. Oh, but if you don't direct damage, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it could be. Maybe immobilize is like good for that. But yeah, it is time for me to get off. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your viewership. You guys have a great rest